want to welcome everybody to the 36th Annual Regional Airline Association Convention. We really have come quite a long way, and today marks a very special day for us because of the honor and the special guest we have to address our opening session today and this year. This is the first time a U.S. Cabinet Secretary has joined this group, and I really think that says just volumes about all the work that you have done to help build this industry. And to introduce our special guest, it's my pleasure to introduce the gentleman who's helped lead RAA through a very great and successful year, our current chairman, the CEO and president of Air Wisconsin, Jim Rankin. Jim.
Thank you, Roger. Good afternoon. Ray LaHood became the 16th Secretary of Transportation on January 23, 2009. In nominating him, President-elect Obama said, "Few understand our infrastructure challenge better than the outstanding public servant that I'm asking to lead the Department of Transportation." Secretary LaHood's primary goal in implementing President Obama's priorities for transportation includes safety across all modes, restoring economic health and creating jobs, sustainability, shaping the economy for the coming decades by building new transportation infrastructure, and assuring that transportation policies focus on people who use the transportation system and their communities. As Secretary of Transportation, LaHood leads an agency with more than 55,000 employees and $70 billion budget that oversees air, maritime, and surface transportation missions. Secretary LaHood said he would bring President-elect Obama's priorities to the department and see them effectively implemented with a commitment to fairness across regional and party lines and between people who come to the issues with different perspectives. Before becoming Secretary of Transportation, LaHood served for 14 years in the U.S. House of Representatives from the 18th District of Illinois from 1995 to 2009. During that time, he served on the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and after that on the House Appropriations Committee. Prior to his election to the House, he served as Chief of Staff to U.S. Congressman Robert Michael, whom he succeeded in representing the 18th District, and as District Administrative Assistant to Congressman Thomas Railsback. He also served in the Illinois State Legislature. Before his career in government, Secretary LaHood was a junior high school teacher, having received his degrees from Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. He was also director of the Rock Island County Youth Services Bureau and chief planner for the Bi-State Metropolitan Planning Commission in Illinois. Secretary LaHood and his wife Kathy have 4 children and 9 grandchildren, and I'm very pleased to introduce the Honorable DOT Secretary Ray LaHood.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Jim, for the introduction and also being an outstanding member of the FAA Next Gen Advisory Committee and being so helpful to those of us that are trying to get into next generation technology in airports and in airplanes. I also am delighted to say that I'm the first Secretary of Transportation to attend this meeting, and I've had a chance to shake hands with many of you, and I'm delighted to be here. As some of you know, President Obama and the Congress have designated this week as National Transportation Week. So I'm proud to join in offering thanks to all the Americans who keep our people and economy moving, especially our regional air carriers. I'm also proud to have a chance to be able to cut a ribbon here somewhere, wherever it's at, and officially open this outstanding meeting. But before I do that, my message is simple. as long as I'm the Secretary of Transportation, you'll have a seat at the table when we make aviation policy. And a number of the members of this organization do have a seat at the table. And the entire board of this organization had an opportunity to be seated at a table with me to discuss regional aviation issues and aviation issues generally. So I've spent 2 or 3 hours here and really had an opportunity to meet with many of the board and many of you. With 13,000 regional flights a day, you're connecting people with places and opportunities they couldn't otherwise reach. 75% of the United States communities with airline service rely on you and your 60,000 dedicated professionals. Each of you does much more than move passengers from hubs to destinations. You keep our economy in motion. You carry us boldly into the future. That's why we're grateful not just for your hard work, but also for your leadership and your advocacy. I want you to know you have full partners in President Obama's administration and at the Department of Transportation. Given that you account for more than half of our nation's commercial flights, I don't need to tell you how important you are to the industry's continued success. You're integral. And there are, of course, a variety of ways to measure that success. The number of seats you fill, the rate with which you depart on time, and the profits you earn. But the one that's most important to me, and I know it's most important to all of you, safety. The success of the aviation industry hinges on the confidence of the American people that they will fly from one origin to destination, to their destination as safely as possible. Thousands of people got up today, went to an airport, got on a regional jet, got to their destination safely, and they didn't think much about the safety because all of us are thinking about it. All of you are thinking about it. So people got on those regional jets today and boarded those planes with the idea that the pilot would be well trained, that the plane would be safe, that there'd be air traffic controllers to guide the planes in and out of the airports. Flying is the safest form of transportation, certainly one of the safest. Aviation in America is the safest form of transportation in the world. We have the safest form of transportation right here in the United States. Thanks to all of you, and thanks to the dedicated people that work for you, the pilots, the flight attendants, the mechanics, the people that work in so many other places in your industry. America's skies have never been safer, and they're getting safer all the time. And that's a credit to the technicians, the pilots, the air traffic controllers, and so many others, including yourselves. But I didn't come to Nashville to take a victory lap. I'm here to roll up my sleeves and share in the heavy lifting of building a better future for America's regional carriers. And that's why I met with the board. That's why I went around and shook hands with as many of you as I could, listening to you, listening to the new innovations that you're all promoting and selling. This is an industry that's never had the luxury of sitting back and enjoying the view. We need to be constantly planning for tomorrow. And every place that I stop, people are planning for tomorrow. With experts predicting air travel to grow 50% during the next decade, we're facing the prospect of some serious headwinds if we don't prepare and build for it now. As many of you know, last spring we launched at DOT the Future of Aviation Advisory Committee. And Brian Bedford, the CEO of Republic, was good enough to serve on that committee. Our first priority was to make this group a cross-section of the industry, and we did that. That's why we made sure that regional airlines were well represented. And I'm pleased to report that the Future of Aviation Committee provided 23 consensus recommendations.